It is championship match day here in the minor division as the league title could be determined here today. And all rests on the outcomes of the first and final matches today. Inter London and Montreal United, the two remaining chasers of league leading North Shore, face off in what could be a defining matchup. And of course, the leaders themselves in action later today against Capstad. Hello, everyone. I'm Metafiction, and Montreal will be leading us out in the 4-2-2-2 compared to the Inter London 4-2-4. Certainly going to be a very interesting matchup. There you see on the table, Inter London currently 7 points back, needing a win in order to remain in contention for that title. A draw or a Montreal United victory, and well, ultimately, North Shore needing a result regardless. It just changes the manner of the result. In Inter London means a North Shore win is required, whereas a draw or a win for Montreal, a draw will suffice for North Shore. Here's Lavert for London in the early stages. Laurent has a go, but Williams able to block it. Certainly any title implications have to go out the window as you focus first and foremost on getting the result you need. And for both these teams, that result is a win, unequivocally. Here is Williams for London. Schweinsteiger pings in to the box and is ultimately sent out. Now Montreal can counter. 44 dispossessed, though, for a moment. Ultimately ends up with London again. Here is Berbatov from distance, and it's another save from Williams. It's already a very fast start here for Inter London. We're on standing over another corner. Finds Schweinsteiger. Was trying to get a very fancy shot off, but it came to nothing. Here is Schweinsteiger laying it off to Williams. Schweinsteiger again, trying to find space, and does, just about, before being dispossessed by Suzuki. Tucker into Suzuki, but nearly dispossessed, and is now, in fact, but that pass from Finley intercepted. Now here's Zerhuni, trying the through ball, doesn't quite come off. Bierman being forced wide, ultimately finds Ken. Benjamin's with the long ball over the top. Tucker squares it, and Suzuki puts Montreal ahead. Well, it was a very flowing move there. Started from the long ball by Fantomans, and then Tucker squaring it to a wide open Suzuki. Elmas the Heretic can do nothing about it. Inter London's potential title challenge facing a bit of a roadblock here in Quebec. Schweinsteiger off the corner. Squares to Laurent. Williams. What a shot from A.J. Williams. And as quickly as it was off, it is back on again. Schweinsteiger able to bring it under control just about. Laurent lays it off to Williams, and what a shot that was from A.J. Williams. It bears repeating, right into the top corner of that goal. And parity restored in a matter of just 2 minutes, as Montreal and Inter London are square at 1. Chaftwell. Now here's Ken, and it's blocked by Williams, the goal scorer. And it will be a corner kick for Montreal. Ultimately headed clear. Schmidt with the cross, and Laurent getting it out of danger. As I say, these two teams in the chasing pack. Montreal does still technically have an opportunity to win the league title with a win today, but it require just about everything going right. Although they're not off to a bad start. It's here is Schmidt with the through ball. They've got numbers. Schmidt, 1-on-1, and that is another goal for Montreal United. My goodness, that broke very quickly in their favor. They just had the numbers. The defense from Inter London spread too thin, and ultimately Schmidt able to capitalize. So it is Montreal 2, Inter London 1. And this will have very interesting effects on the title picture should it remain the same. London will be hoping to once again draw level. Do they have another equalizer? Here is Laurent on the near wing. Schweinsteiger from just inside the box, and it is parried over by Williams. Laurent to send in the corner. Hand it up, and Tucker getting under the end of it. Making a bit of an impressive run here as it centers to Bierman. Now here's 44, and Toastman getting a foot in to stop the danger, and 44 ruled offside anyway. Long ball from Williams. Here's 44 again, onside this time. Into the center, Tucker. It fell favorably for Tucker, but the shot couldn't get it on target. And that will be the score at the half there. It is a 2-1 lead for Montreal United in a very exciting game that could ultimately determine whether or not North Shore can clinch today or whether one of these teams could potentially still steal the title from them. Certainly questions to be answered here at Stade Fleur de Lis. For the moment, again, it is Montreal who have the advantage, but it is Inter London who get us started for the second half. Berbatov trying to dribble through, but meets the Montreal back wall. Now here is Berbatov again, squaring it. And Finley almost got onto the end of it. Here's A.J. Williams and winning a corner there. And that pass in, so dangerous from Berbatov, just couldn't get anybody to finish it off. And Laurent's corner headed back. The resulting cross ultimately harmless. Now here come Montreal, once again in numbers. Schmidt to Tucker. Tucker on the end line, trying to cross it, but only finds the heretic. There's Borat, trying to whip in the cross, but Williams dealing with it. Bierman gets a foot in and manages to win the ball back for Montreal. Now it's a ball over the top, finding Suzuki, who squares it to Owen, 44. Well, will it stand? It was a great finish from Owen, 44, but it won't count. He was offside. We look at the replay here. Vanderben's with the long ball. Oh my goodness, I apologize. It was Suzuki who was ruled offside on that initial move. So that is the cause of the offside flag. It is not Owen 44 as I had originally suspected. Well, this ball over the top by Tucker finds only the London defense. Heretic sending it long, only finding Ken. Now here is Zerhuni trying to get around Williams. Schmidt with the tap on to Suzuki, who again is offside. And with 30 minutes to play, safe to say North Shore will probably take this result as Schmidt sends in the corner. Balls to Tucker at the edge of the box, and a diving save out of Elmas the Heretic. As I say, North Shore would probably take this result, as it means they only need a draw against FC Kapstad later in order to win the titles. Here's Levert for London. Ken able to dispossess and mop up. Borat sending it up. Balls to Suzuki. Squares it. And Clara Schmidt has just about put this game away, it would seem. Well, Suzuki doing well to duel with Williams there. And Schmidt just breaking in front of that defender. Just getting enough space to put the ball in the back of the net. And Montreal have very much seized control of this game. Ken with a cross at the end line, sent clear ultimately by the Inter-London defense. Montreal still have it though. Tucker trying to get under control. Shapwell gets to it. 44. Back to Bierman. Shapwell again. Bierman had to go. Well, you can't fault them for trying, but that one just wasn't on target. And 10 minutes to play. London with a corner to try and salvage this match. That ends up into the arms of William Williams. And here's Ken. Tucker, first time to Suzuki. Now it's to 44, who's bath powdered toast man. And Owen 44 doing Owen 44 things. "44 gives them 4. It is Montreal 4, Inter-London 1. And that might have just about sunk Inter-London's title hopes here today. They needed a win to really give themselves the best chance of keeping pace. They've been absolutely handled by Montreal as Schmidt nearly getting the hat trick. Tucker's header soft enough for the Heretic to claim with little trouble. With 4 minutes of added time, it's a tall order for Inter-London to try to find 4 goals to win this match. As here is Schmidt. Schmidt looking for the hat trick. Was tipped behind at the opposite post. Schmidt now stands over the corner. Headed down dangerously by Phantomans, but ultimately going just wide. And as time dwindles down, it looks like Montreal will be the last team standing to challenge North Shore. And it's going to be very, very difficult to see if they can even challenge for it after this match week as 44 shot. Of course, behind for another corner kick. As we say, North Shore needing only a draw now with this result in order to confirm themselves as minor division champions for this season. Game, set, and match to Montreal United. As they struck first through Mei Suzuki. Inter London equalizing very quickly. And from that point on, it was all Montreal. A brace from Clara Schmidt, 2 assists from Rob Tucker, who is your player of the match, and of course, a weigh-in from Owen 44, just to confirm. AJ Williams doing the damage for Inter London. Not enough on this occasion. So it is 4-1 in favor of Montreal United. Certainly still in the title race for the moment, pending the result of the final match of the day. Before we get there, though, we have 2 other matches to resolve, and the first one takes place in Cairo at the Tomb of Doom, where Cairo City host Atheni FC. Cairo, with their customary 4-1-4-1 this season, haven't had the most consistent campaign. Meanwhile, Atheni in the 4-1-3-2, they were able to make a cup quarterfinal in very surprising isn't the right word, but very impressive fashion, ultimately falling over 2 legs to Tokyo SC, the major league affiliate of Cairo City. So perhaps some small measure of revenge in the offing here. Tekiel Turkis wins the ball early for Cairo. Now here's Visser. Visser dueling with Kamavinga, who wins out ultimately. Well, it's not exactly the most exciting match thus far. It's a very tactical showdown at the moment as Alturkis intercepting that pass from Washburn. Now here's Hayden. Hayden from distance forces a save out of Duke. The first shot of the match, and it results in a Cairo City corner. Gunther Pleasureman to stand over it. Finds Alturkis, but intercepted by Washburn. And now a potential counter for Atheni as Tali comes forward. Washburn in the move, ultimately fizzling out. Deep throw for Atheni, courtesy of Washburn. Here is Kamavinga trying to move into the center. Ball sent clear by Lee, and now Hayden making another run, ultimately laying it out to Pleasureman on the right side. More pressure from Cairo. Here's Alturkis and Visser. Visser with the through ball to Hayden. Back to Alturkis. Alturkis brought down in the box potentially by Corrigan. VAR will review this penalty decision. And the penalty has been given. Corrigan brought down Alturkis in the box. Corrigan escaping a booking as Hayden puts home the penalty for Cairo. There's not much to say about this. A strong penalty from Hayden. And Cairo City have the advantage here. Just under 30 minutes. Now the ball coming forward again as Haglund sends it to Hayden. Hayden forced out wide. Here's Alturkis. Alturkis with a shot. It wasn't a bad shot either, but Duke getting down well to stop it. Pleasureman now. Back to Brazunti. Haglund chips it over to Pleasureman. Pleasureman forcing the save again out of Duke. Now here's Alturkis. Into the air, headed down. gets it back and ultimately wins another corner. This one headed clear as far as Presunti. Back to Pleasureman. Tried to get past Smallwood and send in the cross, but Duke alive to it. Harris City with a marked advantage in terms of chances at the moment. As Presunti sprays it out wide to Alturkis. Haglund trying to move it on to Hayden, but ultimately falls to the feet of Athenai. Now here is Smallwood. Pleasureman, though, nicking it off of Zanetti. And then tit for tat, Smallwood intercepting the ball intended for Pleasureman, but sending the shot wide. Free kick for Zanetti into the area, headed clear. Smallwood getting to the end of it. Now here's Washburn. Visser got the foot in, and the referee has once again given a penalty. Going over to the monitor to check. And VAR has overturned it. No penalty for Athenai here. Well, it was very difficult to tell from where I was sitting, but ultimately VAR deciding no penalty was able to be given there. Lee forward to Haglund. Finds Pleasureman. Pleasureman with the cross, off target for Hayden, and Duke instead, claiming it. Now here's Washburn for Athenai. Remember, did make the Cup quarterfinal earlier this season. And came very close, actually, to knocking out Tokyo as Zanetti sends him the cross. It falls to Washburn again. Alturkis. And Talley, oh my goodness, what a scramble that was. It looked like Revest had just about mishandled it, but ultimately comes to nothing for Athenai. It bounced off of the top of the crossbar and back into the field of play. Certainly a bit of a chaotic turn, but ultimately Athenai couldn't benefit from it. Juliusson sending it over the top, trying to find somebody to latch onto it. Panda was closest, but Ekholm Gunnarsson gets there first. Revest now sending the ball long. Falls to Pleasureman ultimately. Over the top for Hayden. Hayden very close, at point blank range even, but it hits the bar and goes over of its own accord. And that will be how we go into the half, as Cairo City, thanks to the penalty goal from Caleb Hayden, leads 1-0 over Athenai FC. Certainly the game still there to be won by either side. Cairo having the advantage, it would seem, in terms of chances, or quality chances at least. But Athenai more than capable of getting back into this match. We'll have to see how it goes over the last 45 minutes. Here is a free kick for Zanetti. Has a shot. Revette called into action, tipping it over onto the top of the net. You don't see that every day. The ball getting stuck on the top of the net. And here is Zanetti on the corner. Revest with another save, and it's another corner on the opposite side. Here's Zanetti again. And ultimately Visser getting onto it. Here's Hagelin. El Turkis. Pleasureman nearly had a go. Instead finds Hagelin. Visser goes down in the box. It looked like Tolly was trying to make the challenge. And the referee has once again given a penalty. And once again, being asked to look at it on VAR. VAR has upheld one penalty and overturned another. And this time the penalty is given. And it will be Hayden to put it home again. Has already scored one this match. But not this time. Duke making the save when it mattered. Now Pleasureman's corner claimed by that self-same goalkeeper. An absolutely critical moment by Duke to keep his team in the match. And how important will that be in the final reckoning? Who dispossessed by Smallwood. Here's Tolly. Tolly shoots! A moment of inspiration for Athens FC. After the penalty save, they very quickly equalized here. Smallwood winning the ball off of Hood. Tolly taking the shot. It takes a deflection. And it gets past Rivest. And in only a matter of 2 minutes, it has gone from potentially 2-0 to Cairo to 1-1. Talk about a swing of fortune as Cairo come forward again. Super Hoops dispossessed by Smallwood. Athens really on fire right now. Smallwood at the line, and it's Imo Tolly. Well, you couldn't write a turnaround this quick. A rapid-fire brace from Imo Tolly. And all of a sudden, Athens very much in the ascendancy here. What a difference a minute makes, or in this case, 12. All of a sudden, as that ball just scrapes over the bar, Cairo City finding themselves in a hole here. Hagelin to Al Turkis. Dispossessed by Camavinga, who sends it up the pitch. Pleasureman. Visser over the top for Hayden. Hayden has the equalizer. Or does he? They are ruling no goal. It is offside. Well, it goes from bad to worse. Hayden just offside. And that equalizer will not stand. Now here's Corrigan, who had a shot and lifted it too much. And Cairo have 12 minutes to salvage a point from this match that they had been leading for most of it. Al Turkis around Washburn. Here's Hayden. Hayden forces the save out of Duke, but the flag is up once more on Hayden. Here's Undu with the free kick to Al Turkis. And Al Turkis just past the post. It had Duke beat, but couldn't get it on target. It seems despite having the advantage in XG, as Presunti's free kick also just barely missing. Despite having the advantage on expected goals, Cairo City find themselves perhaps on the losing end of this one, unless they can pull something out in this last attack. Ultimately, though, it is Juliusson heads it down to Washburn. Atheni just trying to maintain this lead in the waning seconds. Smallwood sending it long. Rivest gets onto it. Can Cairo get it up the pitch before the final whistle blows? Here's Visser. Intercepted by Corrigan. That might have just burned enough time. Visser again, and that will do it here in Cairo. Well, they thought they'd won it on that first half penalty by Caleb Hayden. But Cairo City, shell-shocked by the missed penalty by Hayden in the second half and the subsequent brace by Imo Tali to put Atheni ahead once and for all. Tali deservedly player of the match for that performance. The two goals that tied and then won the match for Atheni. A strong fight back from Atheni there, winning the match 2-1 after being down, potentially 2-0. Now we move to our third match, which sees Seoul Mythic hosting AS Paris. Neither of these teams really having the campaign they would have hoped for. Certainly will be hoping for some measure of pride from this match and from their remaining matches. Here's Seoul once again with a 4-2-2-2 on a bit of a losing skid, as you can see there. Not quite so bad, mind you, as AS Paris with the 4-1-3-1-1, I guess would be the best way to refer to that formation. And it's Paris who get us started in the white and blue, going right to left. Lund nutmegging Ryan, finding Klon. Ultimately to the other side for Ness. Now here's Mayhem. And ultimately Lund ruled offside for Paris. Chulazi sending in the free kick. Headed down, finds Klon. Well, it was a powerful shot, but the aim leaving something to be desired there. Garfield now to Nagatoro Maradona. Squares to Prosper. And ultimately it heads over the bar, courtesy of Seoul Mythic. Another free kick for Maradona. This one headed clear by Cinnamon. Aloisi. Sherwood. Ryan over the top. Nagatoro Maradona, but LeBert heads it away. Spoon. Now here's Garfield. And Spoon again. Staines with a shot that ends up in the concession stand. Garfield bringing it, Nagatoro Maradona bringing it down for Garfield. Garfield looked like a back heel to Prosper, but comes to nothing. Seoul still with it, though, only for the moment as Paris now winning it. Klon, but dispossessed by Staines there. Quick passing to Negatoro Maradona. And what a move that was to free up Ariadna Tokino Nagatoro Maradona. Try saying that name 5 times fast. It was Prosper to Aloisi, first time to Nagatoro Maradona. And as they say across the pond, Bob's your uncle. As Seoul go up 1-0 over AS Paris. Passing among the back line for Seoul here. Doug and Garfield passing back and forth amongst one another. Now here's Prosper squaring to Paul, and Paul forces Barflett to make a save and concede the corner. Ryan sending it in. Barflett once again preventing a goal at the expense of another corner kick. Headed out to Paul. Spoon. Back to Sherwood. And that will be the end of that move. Stains forward, trying to find Aloisi, but only Lexington. But Paul squaring it for Aloisi. And the shot not quite where it needed to be. Here's Ryan. Once again, trying to find Aloisi, but Lexington getting to it. Prosper through to Aloisi. Aloisi! Well, how do you like that? VAR looking at it, but it looked good from where I'm sitting. And indeed, it will stand. An absolute laser from Baraka Aloisi. Right into that corner there. And here is the replay on the offside. Well, it is a little closer than it would have looked. But ultimately, Aloisi making no mistake with the finish. Now Paul with the free kick. And the looping header goes just wide of the post. Barflett would have had it covered, but ultimately not needed to block that one. As we go into halftime, Seoul completely dominant thus far. 2-0 on the scoreboard. Next year of 1.21 to just 0.08. Only one shot thus far for AS Paris. Seoul very much in the driver's seat of this one as we begin the second half, and it is Seoul who do get us started. Nagatoro Maradona. Nearly back to Garfield, but sent clear by Shalezi. That pass from Spoon intercepted by Van Dorn. Now sent forward for Lund. Lund with the shot. Just tipped wide by Jin Levy. The best shot of the day for Paris, and they've won a corner from it. Cinnamon sending it in. Levy holding on to it. Out wide for Mayhem. Cutting back in, trying to find Papadopoulos, but nothing doing. Papadopoulos beaten to that one by Spoon, who has it again now. Prosper dispossessed by Cinnamon. Once again, Paris trying to build from the back here. Van Dorn cutting inside. Now it's sent back again. Now the through ball to Papadopoulos. And the shot blocked by Doug. Against Paris have risen into life here in the second half as Cinnamon stands over another corner. And once again, Levy able to hold on to it. Deep throw for Ryan. Now here's Spoon. And Garfield missing that one wide. Paul sprays it out for Ryan. Staines through the Paul. And once again, just barely missing the goal. Here's Barflett's long ball. It's headed down for Papadopoulos, but the run stopped before it could start. Ejin Levy sends in a long ball of their own. Headed down for Nagatoro Maradona. And it's a corner kick here. Ryan descended in. And does. Headed up, and Garfield heads it over. Ryan getting past London, sending it back to Staines. Ryan's pass this time, intercepted by Mayhem. Oh, that's a bad pass from Cinnamon, and PJ Prosper makes them pay for it. Well, it's a lapse in judgment here by Cinnamon. Cinnamon receiving the pass from Lexington, looks to play it first time to Barflett. Doesn't notice PJ Prosper lurking. Prosper gets to it first. And the advantage is now 3-0 to Seoul Mythic. Lexington intercepting that pass. It's out to Van Dorn. Ness with the cross. And Incline got a shot off, but it was over the bar. Staines through to Prosper, who was going for a brace there, but ultimately only getting a corner out of it. As time winds down, it is Seoul who have the commanding lead, although Paris looking for something here, ultimately getting nothing. Does fall to Lexington. Passing around to Shalazi, who's forced out wide. Cross in, and Inclon once again loops the header too high. And Staines has a shot. Barflett Right in front of it, though. Staines with the through ball to Aloisi. As we have entered added time, Staines again gets past Inclon and Barflett diving, but ultimately not needed as that ball goes wide. Well, it just kept getting worse and worse for AS Paris. And ultimately, Seoul Mythic with a 3-goal win and a performance they can be proud of. Ariadna Tokino Nagatoro Maradona opening the scoring for Seoul just inside 20 minutes. Then came the goal from Baraka Aloisi and the score by PJ Prosper on that miscommunication from the Paris defense, specifically Milo Cinnamon. Now we come to the final match of the day and perhaps the most important of the season. North Shore needing just a point at home to Kapstad to confirm themselves as minor league champions for season 16. If they can't get that result, then it leaves the door open for Montreal, potentially, if they can win out and if North Shore lose the rest of their matches. It's a tall order for sure. And North Shore certainly hoping not to have to leave it until match day 13 or even worse, 14. They've come out in 4-2-3-1. The wingers sitting a little bit further back there, as you can see, compared to FC Kapstad with the more advanced wingers there on your screen. In their confirmation, a win for North Shore, or excuse me, a draw for North Shore would put them at 7 points ahead of Montreal, which they cannot surpass. It is North Shore who get us started, going left to right in the gray and black. Here's Casual, forced out wide by Ramos. Snooks trying to square it, but Tato in the way. Now here come Kapstad as Penshaw finds Gerard. Tortellini squared and ultimately finds only the defense. Free kick for Gerard. Headed clear. Snooks nearly dispossessed by Gerard, but instead it's Knezovic. Tato and Gerard sending it clear only as far as Urkel. Tentacles blocked by Guerra. And the long shot by Urkel finds the post and is ultimately sent clear. Well, North Shore coming out firing on all cylinders, really pressing to put this title race to bed. The question is, can they? Remember, a draw is enough for them. They just need to avoid defeat, and they are minor league champions. But here is Guerra with the shot. Ultimately headed clear, but only for the moment. Dia blocked, and now here comes O'Sullivan. Neymarinho, forced out wide by Dito. Cross, finds Tato! Well, they've got a hand on the trophy now, as Pat Tato heads them into the lead 1-0. As Neymarinho sending in the cross that Tato put home off of Walrison. And North Shore with the advantage here. Urkel crossing in, and it's Tato again! Well, he's already got two, and Pat Tato is determined that North Shore will win the title if he has anything to say about it. A fairly quick double for Pat Tato and North Shore United. And it is North Shore 2, Capstad 0 as we near 30 minutes. Marinho cutting inside and shoots. And it's a corner kick for North Shore. Gerard sending it in. Looked like it was destined for the far post, but ultimately Walrus unable to hold on to it. And another corner for North Shore and Gerard. And that one headed well over the bar. Capstad struggling to get anything going as once again North Shore coming forward. Tentacles back to Marinho. Knezovic. Headed clear by Ramos. And now is there a break on for Capstad? Here's Guerra. But O'Sullivan cutting it out to snuff out the count. And now North Shore with a counter of their own. O'Sullivan through to Casual. And Casual makes it 3. Pending VAR. Well, the verdict is no goal. Well, let's look at the replay here. And indeed, there you see Casual well offside. Referee missing it in the moment. The VAR confirming that goal will not stand. Is that a moment of life for Capstad? And here's Guerra. Back to Dia. Dia brought down by Knezovic, but does shoot and win the corner. Dieter sending it in. Headed into the air harmlessly. And they needed a draw, but they've got to win at the moment. Have North Shore with a 2-0 victory at halftime. Or 2-0 lead, excuse me. I apologize. There's still 49 minutes to play. Nobody's won anything just yet. But North Shore, it has to be said, in a title-winning mood here. Can Capstad still come back and deny them the party? Or is this indeed a foregone conclusion? Capstad get us started, but North Shore very quickly winning the ball. Gerard to Tortellini. Tortellini squares it. And Guerra clawing one back for Capstad. And all of a sudden, things just got very interesting. Guerra finding a very tight space to fit that ball in past Von Bismarck. And Capstad have halved the deficit here. Here's Urkel. Through ball to Marinho, but blocked at the source. Now here comes Guerra. Cutting inside Tortellini. And Hunt brought down and draws the foul. Hunt will take the free kick. And that wasn't far off here. Just over the bar, but ultimately over the bar nonetheless. Now building from the back, our North Shore casual squares it. O'Sullivan very nearly getting a third there for North Shore, but ultimately Capstad winning the ball. Urkel sending it out wide to Tato, headed over the bar by Casual. Well, the momentum seems to have petered out a bit for Capstad, but they do have a deep throw here. Hunt ships it forward. And it looks like Penshaw was brought down in the box, according to the referee. VAR is reviewing it, and the penalty is given. Well. Dieter standing over the penalty. This to equalize, and does. And it is game on here in New Zealand. With 30 minutes to play, all Capstad need to deny North Shore's title party is one more goal. North Shore suddenly feeling the pressure. They will still win with a draw, but here is Casual, and Casual might have just won it. They are looking at this one as well. Casual already having a goal ruled out by VAR, and here's a second one chalked off. Well, it's another twist in this tale. North Shore once again failing to capitalize on a chance to put this title race to bed. And it's Casual again. Looked like he might have been tripped up, but ultimately no foul given. Capstad still looking for one more to potentially delay the title celebrations. Are North Shore content with this draw, or will they push for a winner? Casuals crossing in. And Mourinho's header into the hands of Walrusen. Well, with 5 minutes to play, North Shore perhaps just looking to see this out. Gerard with the corner. Into the air. Gerard sending it clear. Urkel, now Gerard. Pat Tato! Well, he's North Shore's hat trick hero. And he's ensured North Shore will be the champions. In the right place at the right time for that finish. To cap off the hat trick. Knezovic to Mourinho, who misses with the pass from the free kick. Only 1 minute left before North Shore can claim their trophy. It's been a very strong season for them, capped off by that hat trick by Pat Tato. And O'Sullivan with the through ball only puts it off the crossbar. At that point would have added just insult to injury. Champions of the minor division, once again, North Shore United come away victorious 3 goals to 2 today against Capstad, and in so doing, confirm themselves once more at the top of the minor division table. The legacy of success in the Reykjavik North Shore organization continues as North Shore brings home another minor division championship. Well, as I say, a credit to their performance all season. It's capped off by this overall solid display, anchored by this hat trick by Pat Tato. Capped off in the 87th minute to confirm the victory. Tato, of course, the player of the match for that performance. It was a splendid fight back from Capstad, a goal down. Goals from Dieter and Guerra had equalized, but ultimately not enough to prevent North Shore from once again topping the table of the minor division. There you see confirmation. North Shore on 31 points cannot be caught in the final 2 match days. The foundation set in the first match, Montreal winning 4-1 over Inter London to make that possible with that result. Then Athenai beat Cairo 2-1. Seoul Mythic winning 3-0 over Paris. And of course, North Shore with a dramatic 3-2 victory over Capstad. Well, that'll be it from me. Thank you so much for joining us on this very exciting occasion. Congratulations once again to North Shore United for their minor league championship. I've been Metafiction. Until next time, take care.